This is the BenQ X3100i. My honest first impression after living with it is simple. It's made for gamers who want a huge, bright, responsive picture without giving up 4K clarity. From my experience, that promise largely holds up. It's blazing fast, the colors jump off the screen, and setup is friendlier than I expected for a serious projector. There are trade-offs, especially with black levels and the built-in smart experience, but the core of this machine puts gameplay front and center. About the look and feel, it's a clean, modern cube with a white body, a black front panel, and that orange ring around the lens that screams BenQ's X series. It feels substantial and steady on a shelf, not something I'd move around often. The vents wrap around the sides and back, and they're not just for show. Airflow is solid, and they also help the speakers breathe. What immediately stood out to me were the physical controls. I like having a real zoom ring, a focus ring, and a top dial for vertical lens shift. They're smooth, with just enough resistance to make small, accurate tweaks easy. Ports are neatly laid out, with 2 HDMI inputs. One supports eARC, plus a hidden HDMI slot for the included Android TV dongle, so nothing dangles out the back. It's a small touch that keeps everything tidy. Setup was painless in a good way. The throw range gives you flexibility, and the 1.3x optical zoom plus the generous vertical lens shift saved me from having to tilt the chassis. I avoided digital keystone on purpose. Quick explainer for newcomers. Digital keystone fixes a crooked picture with software by stretching or scaling the image, which can soften detail and add processing time. For gaming, that's the last thing I want. With the lens shift, I got a perfectly squared image by aligning the optics to the screen. No pixel loss, no extra lag. Once I fired it up, the 4 LED light engine showed its strengths. Key features here are brightness and color. The 3300 ANSI lumens give the picture serious punch even with some lights on. Colors are rich and accurate, not cartoony, and skin tones look natural. HDR10 with BenQ's HDR Pro and dynamic light control handles bright highlights cleanly, and it does a nice job pulling detail from both bright and mid-dark areas without that distracting brightness pumping you sometimes see. In a living room with ambient light, the image looks bold and confident. In a blackout room, you see the trade-off. Blacks lean gray rather than deep, inky black, so shadow-heavy scenes don't have the same depth as a projector that prioritizes native contrast. In my opinion, this is the reality of a gaming-focused high-brightness DLP. You get speed and vibrancy at the cost of absolute black level. I accepted it, but it's worth knowing, gaming is where the X3100i flexes. Input lag is the delay between pressing a button and seeing the action happen. Here it's exceptionally low, down to a few milliseconds at 1080p 240Hz, and it feels instant. Fast shooters, racers, and fighters all benefit. I tested both a console and a PC. On PC, 1080p 240Hz feels buttery with snappy aim and clean motion. On console, 4K 60 looks sharp and cinematic, and 1080p 120 is a great performance option in titles that support it. The limitation to be aware of is bandwidth. This projector doesn't do native 4K 120Hz. It can take that signal, but will either show 4K at 60Hz or downshift resolution for higher refresh. For story-heavy games, I ran 4K 60 and enjoyed the crisp detail. For competitive play, I dropped resolution to push frame rate, and the responsiveness made a real difference. From my experience, this is the sweet spot of the X3100i. Choose your lane and it delivers. The smart side is a mixed bag. The included Android TV dongle is convenient and properly supports Netflix, Prime, YouTube, Disney+, and casting via AirPlay or Chromecast. It works, but the interface feels sluggish, and there were moments where it lagged moving through menus or hopping between apps. After a few sessions, I plugged in my own streaming box to speed up navigation. If you care about a smooth streaming UI, plan on pairing it with a better external streamer. Audio surprised me in a good way for something built into a projector. The Trevolo Tune speakers are 10 watts total, clear enough for casual viewing and gaming, and they project well in a medium room. For movies or serious gaming sessions, I used eARC on HDMI to send Dolby Atmos and multi-channel audio to my receiver. Quick note for anyone new to this. eARC is a feature that lets the projector pass high-quality audio to your soundbar or AVR without any extra cables. It worked flawlessly in my setup. Fan noise is present, especially in the brightest picture modes. During quiet late-night scenes, I could hear it from my seat. During gameplay with normal volume, it faded into the background for me. 3D support is there if you still enjoy it. I tried a couple of clips with DLP link glasses, and it synced right away. It's not the headline feature, but it's cool that it's included. Now to the parts that really won me over. Key features that matter most to me are low latency, flexible placement, and color pop. Low latency at high refresh rates makes a huge screen feel viable for fast games. It's the difference between fun to look at and actually competitive. The lens shift and optical zoom are lifesavers in real rooms. I didn't have to rearrange furniture or tilt the projector, and I didn't sacrifice image quality with digital fixes. Color is where the X3100i shines day to day. Animated content, sports, and stylized games look fantastic, bright, saturated, and clean without weird tints. And eARC keeps the audio path simple so I can enjoy Atmos with one HDMI cable, which is the kind of convenience I appreciate. There are a few things I wish were better. The biggest is black level in a dark dedicated theater. It's acceptable, not amazing. If your priority is deep cinematic blacks for long movie nights in a fully light-controlled room, you'll notice the gray floor. The Android TV experience also drags the premium feel down a notch. It's usable but slow. And while I understand the chipset limitations, I still wish it did native 4K 120Hz for the latest consoles because so many players are aiming for that combination. In my opinion, the X3100i is perfect for gamers who want a bright, color-rich 4K image with elite responsiveness and easy placement in a living room or multi-use space. From my experience, it handles both casual play and sweaty sessions without missing a beat, and it doubles as a solid big-screen display for sports and streaming. I'd recommend this for PC gamers who value high refresh, and for console players who are happy choosing either 4K 60 for fidelity or 1080p 120 for speed. If you're a cinephile chasing deep inky blacks in a blacked-out theater, you may want to look at alternatives focused on contrast, and you'll probably want an external streamer either way. In conclusion, the BenQ X3100i nails its core mission. It's a gaming-first projector that delivers a huge, vibrant, responsive picture with real flexibility in setup. The color volume and brightness make it punch through ambient light, the optical controls feel great, and eARC simplifies premium audio. The trade-offs: mediocre black levels in dark rooms, lack of native 4K 120, and a sluggish built-in smart experience are real, but they don't overshadow the main strengths if you value speed and impact. This is the big screen gaming display I can actually play on, not just admire. If you found this video helpful, hit subscribe and tell me your questions or your own experience with the X3100i in the comments. Thank you for watching.